For great ideas and practical tools you can start using tomorrow to grow your business and separate you from the competition, you've come to the right place. If you're into B2B marketing and sales, then welcome to the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales podcast. With over 60 and counting total years in the trenches of businesses small and large, they have a plethora of knowledge and experience that generate you more leads, capture more clients, ring up more sales. Well, doggone it, just make you more money. How about that? Always thought-provoking, yet dubiously entertaining. Please welcome to their respective microphones across 3 time zones, your co-ringmasters, the Dave Loomis, and not the rock star, Steve Miller.
Here we are. Hey, everybody. Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger. But you know what? Here I am. I'm just another Steve Miller. I'm just one of the Steve Millers, is what I am. But I am with the Dave Loomis. You know how we call it the Ohio State University? This is the Dave Loomis.
Correct. Thank you.
Man, you're looking good. You're looking really sharp with your orange sport coat there.
Yeah. It's it attracts attention for sure.
You look good. I gotta say, you look good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I'll have to pull mine out of here someday. So we are back again with another episode of the B2B Marketing and Sales podcast.
Yes.
And our objective every week with this, or every time we record one of these things, our objective is to spend approximately 20 minutes, sharing with you really, really killer ideas. We have killer conversations that we hope are going to give you stuff that you can use right now. Exactly right. And I guess it was my turn to come up with a topic for this session today. And I said, why don't we talk about the mistakes that B2B marketers make? And you said, ooh, I don't think we can keep it under 20 minutes. But sure. Anyway, so I wrote down 3 here that I want to share, but I'm gonna let you kick it off and share, a mistake that you see B2B marketers making all the time. Okay,
great. I wrote down 5, and depending on time, see, this is the way it always is. You see, we do need more than 20 minutes, but I'll choose my top 3.
I don't want to do more than 20 minutes.
No, we're not doing it.
No, we're not.
So I'm going to choose my top 3.
Give me a good one. And actually, I dare you to give me one that's on my list.
Okay.
And I will.
We have not compared notes.
We have not compared notes.
We'll see if any of my 3 are here.
You said you have 5, but okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the new logo that will change everything.
That is not on my list, but dang it, it should be. So why is that a mistake?
Well, companies have a tendency to, especially B2B companies, have lived with their logos a long time. A lot of times they're older companies. Sometimes they're multi-generational companies. Sometimes whoever came up with the logo originally, it was fine, but it was utilitarian. It was before the web, and it wasn't really necessarily as important. Now that's our front door that anyone can access, and styles have changed and things like that. So there's a temptation to change the logo.
And I think a lot of times we get bored.
Sure, we get bored. We somebody tells the owner on the golf course, hey, I got a new logo, and the person says, we need a new logo.
Ours is boring,
and it's going to change everything.
Why do they think it's going to change everything?
Oh, I think because people put too much stock in branding in isolation. I think that at least I've seen this as one of the mistakes, is that assuming that you can change a logo or update, sort of the brand look and feel from an aesthetic standpoint. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden that makes you a contemporary modern company with great, better service, more efficient processes, all the things that you need to actually be successful, but you've actually only changed one thing, a visible thing.
You just changed the icon.
Just change it. Yeah. And so I guess I'll close out that by saying, it is often a very, very good idea to change the logo. So that's not my point. My point is that that's not all that has to change.
Well, it means that there's a lot bigger problems than just the logo. If you have to change everything else, because you're right. I agree with that. You have to change. There's a lot of stuff that would have to be changed with that. Okay, so I got to look at my list here and see what I think. I'm going to say that. Excuse me. I don't know how to drink water. I'm going to say that a big mistake that I see B2B marketers make is that when they plan a campaign, number one, they don't think strategy, they think tactic. That they think tactical first, and they think in terms of the tool that they want to use, rather than going through a strategy. So they'll say for example, like right now, and you and I had a conversation about this the other day about TikTok.
Yeah.
So while this is being recorded, TikTok is really just flying, and it's really exploding. And there are a lot of companies out there who are now saying, and companies in the B2B world, and they're now saying, maybe we should be on TikTok. Maybe we should be investing in doing these videos for TikTok. And that is just wrong.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree with me?
Jumping to tactical conclusions before a strategy is always wrong. It might end up being the right tactic, but that's beside the point. You need to make sure that the strategy is sound and that it informs the tactic, right?
Right. And I think one of the biggest questions to always ask is, are you sure that your target market, I call them the moose, are you sure that they are hanging out there? Are they really, living in that place? Because one of the very, very basic tenets of good marketing is you go where the prospects are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you do. You go where they already are. And just because somebody else says to you to go do TikTok, don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. Don't be an idiot. All right, your turn again.
That was not on my list, but it's
good. Okay, so we're both fast. We're both one for one. All right, we're one for one.
Okay. Here's a good one. Asking your salespeople to do too much with the CRM system.
Okay.
So it is the B2B Marketing and Sales podcast.
Yes,
and
it is.
We don't talk enough about sales side of things, but marketing people are very clever, and they are ironically the ones who usually end up being in charge of the CRM system. And I don't, it could be Salesforce.com, it could be HubSpot, it could be whatever system you use.
Right.
And, you and I have both seen the entire trajectory from beginning to end to current of CRM systems hitting the scene and the shock to sales people's system and lives and so forth. And I think my point is that all these systems are going to sell you a lot of bells and whistles, and they're going to keep coming out. It's not going to stop because there's huge competition. They're just going to keep coming out with feature after feature.
Yeah, their whole job is to keep adding features.
And then we say to the sales force, okay, well, aside from the fact that you have to log all your prospects in here and then create new opportunities for every sales pitch that you're going to make, and then record potentially every email that you send to them through this system, or log every contact that you have with them and take notes of that. We're going to ask you some other things. It starts with simple profiling, and then it just snowballs out of control until a salesperson tries to do some selling during the day, but spends a lot of time entering things into their CRM system, and then has dinner, and then enters things into their CRM system for the rest of the night. And that's not in the DNA of a good salesperson.
Yeah. There's two backup comments that I have about that. Number one, good salespeople basically say, "Get out of my way. I want to go sell."
Yeah.
Okay. That's what they're paid to sell, not sit in front of a tappity, right? And the other thing is that these systems are good to a certain extent, but not real. In my opinion, they're really not meant for salespeople. They're meant for people who monitor salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's all well and good to know your numbers and know your, and all that sort of stuff, so that you can kind of have a benchmark that you can follow and track and see how people are doing. But the best salespeople, they just want to sell.
Right.
That's all they want to do. They let me go sell.
There's always, it's kind of there's going to be a bell curve, because there's going to be a few resistors who just are horrible at it, and either say they're just not going to do it, and then the company has to decide, does this person stay on or not. There's also, at the other end of the tail, there's like power users. There's going to be a power user or two that everybody looks at and has a lot of catches attention, because they use the thing like crazy, and they're like, why can't everybody be like Sally? Look at Sally, she does this, and then Sally beams, and and then other people roll their eyes and, kind of shake their heads, and because we're not really like Sally. She's an outlier.
Right.
So, okay. So that's my next one.
And that was not on my list.
Okay, good.
Usually if you say CRM, it's nowhere on my list. Anyway, but my next one is that B2B marketers tend to think that they have to be serious. They have to be professional in their marketing. They have to talk professionally. They have to look professional, and they look like a bank. You might, and it doesn't really matter what you do. You might be you might build widgets. I don't know what, but they just tend, and I keep saying to people, you are people doing business with people. You don't have to be that serious. You can relax a little bit in your tone, and you can have a little bit of fun with them. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. Also not on my list, but really insightful. I think part of it may be that there's a lot of engineers in B2B companies. Now, this is not a knock on engineers. It's just that engineers tend to be more process oriented and might be a little bit more serious when it comes to certain interactions. That's all. But I think that is absolutely fantastic advice, because we're selling people buy from people that they like, and they talk to people that they like for voice of customer. That's a great point.
Yeah. One of my clients over the COVID, when we were trying to figure out ways to get people to see, because I always say, people do, it's the old phrase of people do business with people they know, that they like, and that they trust, but I add in, and remember. Okay.
Right. They were to wear an orange sport coat.
Gotta work. That's right. That's exactly right. And so this one client of mine decided they were going to go out, and they made deliveries during COVID to their top prospects, and they gave them all real radio flyer red wagons.
Cool.
And the message was,
Don't forget that.
radio flyer has been around for a while. Okay. You know how you remember them as a kid, and they're still here now. They're still building their vehicles. Well, our company is just celebrating its 40th anniversary, and we are still building. Our equipment is the radio flyer of our industry. Okay, it's solid. It's been around. You can depend on it. All that sort of stuff. But when they started, when the prospects started to have face-to-face calls again, these guys just knocked it out of the park because everybody remembered the red flyer.
Wow.
I mean, the radio flyer.
Some people send little flyers in the mail, like a paper flyer, and some people send real
radio flyers. I wish I had thought of that during that.
Exactly.
All right. All right. Did you have that on your?
No, I didn't have that on there, but that's excellent. That's excellent. Okay. Okay. Here's another one, and it might be my favorite one, and it's probably the most macro, the one that comes closest to overall business strategy.
Okay. I can't wait.
Mistake, right? Mistake. Not choosing to focus, trying to be all things to all people.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Is that on my list? No. Okay.
Well, I just,
but you know what? That is so
speaks for itself, doesn't it? Because
it really does. When people say, when I say, who's your target market? Oh, everybody. I say, don't quit your day job.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe do quit your day job.
Quit your day job or something because what does that? Come on, stop it.
Not everybody, and sometimes they won't say everybody, but under intense scrutiny and questioning, it turns out that it's pretty much everybody.
And you make a really good point there because often I'll say it's not everybody, and they'll go, oh no, I don't mean that, it's not everybody. But you know what, it's like but they go out and they knock on everybody's doors.
Yeah, it's just like a choice to say focus on B2B versus B2C, but in many industries you're selling to different market segments, and it's hard to really excel selling to all market segments. And you all know you can run your numbers. Anybody who's listening can run the numbers of your company by segment, and you can see that there are ones that you sell a heck of a lot more to, probably based on original company history and just success over time.
Mm-hmm.
And you've eased into selling to other segments, edged out with some success, some with not as much success. It takes resources to do that. You do it under pressure because management says we need to grow.
Right.
And we need to grow organically. We're not going to do any more acquisitions, et cetera, et cetera. So you try,
yeah,
but you will almost always fail trying to do everything, and it hurts positioning too. Because if I was really in the heart of what you do best, I would love to come to your website because I heard of you or you called me and I said, okay, well, let me check these guys out. I would love to come and see myself reflected in your website. But if I see everybody, all segments, I think, these people do everything.
They don't really know me that well.
I suppose they can serve me, but if I see more of me, that's more effective.
Mm-hmm.
I just think focus is effective.
Yeah. Okay, last one. We got time for my last one.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
And that is too many marketers follow the follower. I often talk about the box, and I say, we've all heard about the box. Now, number one, nobody's ever really explained, well, what is the box? And the way I explain it is the box is your world. That's what it is. It's if we look at your industry, let's say you're in aerospace, and that's your industry. Well, the box that you are in is the aerospace box. Okay, so all of your competitors are in there, all the customers that are in there, suppliers are in there, they're all in that box. And what we tend to do as marketers is that when we try to come up with some new ideas, we tend to we just study the box. We study the companies that are in the box because that's our world. We see them at the same trade shows. We read the same magazines. We go to the same conferences. So we hang out with each other. And then what we do when we want to come up with a new idea for either a strategy or a campaign or something like that, we tend to just look at the other people in our industry and we say, what are they doing? We can do it better.
Or we better do that too. I think it's fascinating that there's actually like an actual strategy to be a fast follower. And I always am very suspicious of that strategy because that is a company that has actually decided that they're not going to be on the forefront of innovation.
That's
that
right.
They're actually going to let competitors figure it out, and then they're going to supposedly follow fast. The only problem is the kind of companies that don't want to be on the forefront of innovation are slow, and they're not fast followers. They're slow followers, which is worse.
It's almost always like that. And I mean, I get the fact that you need to know how the competition is doing to understand where you stand.
Absolutely.
Because there's that minimum viable product or service or something like that we all need.
We talked about competition last week.
Yeah, we talked about competition. But as I tell everybody, build your own box. Just build your own box, fill it with all the stuff that you want to put in there, write your own rules of competition, and don't follow, because it's all just a bunch of followers following each other, or there might be a leader, but everybody else is following the leader. Okay. If you can't beat them, go build your own box.
I love that. There's a lot of inspiration from other industries and other places and so forth. I mean, or just there's something brand new that's never been done before.
That's right. It could be what's brand new in another industry, or it could be something that's common in another industry, but is not common in yours.
Correct.
And that's why you go build your own box and you study outside. So,
I love that phrase. That is great. Well, we went through 6 really interesting and very, very different common mistakes.
Yeah, and we had to limit ourselves.
So we're going to extend this more than 20 minutes, right? Now we're going to go on to the next.
No, we are not. We're not.
Okay.
We promised these people 20 minutes, and then we're done.
I know.
So we are, and I'm going to say that our next episode, we are going to talk about sales, and we're going to have another special guest. Who actually, this will be her first time on with us, and it will not be her last time on with us. We're going to bring on my smoking hot wife, Kay Miller, who is a sales person extraordinaire. At one time, she was the world's #1 automotive muffler salesperson. She worked for Walker Automotive, and she was their top salesperson. And she's going to come in and she's going to teach you and me a few things that we don't know.
We're going to be taught.
That's right.
Great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Look forward to that, to seeing one of the Kay Millers.
That's right. One of the Kay Millers. That's exactly right.
Excellent.
So I'm one of the Steve Millers and
the Dave Loomis signing off. Until next time.
We'll see you then. Thank you. If you like us, like us.
Yes. Take care.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast, the source for B2B marketing and sales insight. If you enjoyed the podcast, please be sure to subscribe and leave these old guys a 5-star rating. Check the show notes for any links and contact information. You can always contact us by going to b2bmarketingsalespodcast.com. Thank you, and keep on marketing, keep on selling.